As you guys know, this is first Friday of every month. Occasionally we change the date, only if a holiday falls on the first Friday, but we do this boot camp on the first Friday of every month, and it is open to real estate agents from all brokerages. What we promise throughout today's program, we're going to spend a great deal of time focusing on tools, marketing, technology. What excites most agents the most about our program is the marketing stuff. So we spend the first half of today's program just focusing on all the marketing tools available to agents, not only at our LAER brokerage, but from every brokerage. So what I want to promise you, because some of you I could see on today's program, some of you are LAER agents, but some of you work at other brokerages. And I want to promise you that you're going to get as much out of today's program, including like listing presentations, buyer presentations, pre-listing packages. You're going to get as much out of today's program as agents that work at our brokerage. So I want to just dig right in. I always like to say it's a 3-hour boot camp, which is a super long time to be on a Zoom program. And I always say we'll try to get off a little bit early if that's possible. Usually we use up the entire 3 hours because there's just so much content. And most agents stay till the very end. If, however, you can't stay till the very end, you got an appointment you got to run to, don't worry, we do record this and you can head over to our YouTube station. It's youtube.com/LAER training. So sign up, head over to our YouTube now. In fact, Sergio's going to put in our chat the YouTube station. You can go over and subscribe to it now. That way it'll just send you a little notification once we upload this to YouTube. Plus, anytime we add new training programs, it'll just send you a notification so you never miss out on a great training class. So I will start first. I like to remind everybody before we start the program that you want to have a pen and paper available, because the biggest challenge, which most agents have by the end of the 3 hours, is that we cover so much. And great real estate agents will start, they just watch and then they say, okay, I want to do that for my business. I want to do that. I want to do that. And what can happen is that it's very easy to get overwhelmed because there's so much content. And sometimes when you get overwhelmed, you end up doing nothing. Because you are dedicated to your business, because you showed up today, we want to make sure that you get the most out of today's program. That means we need you to go execute on some of the things that we speak of in today's program. So I always say a good rule of thumb is to have 5 things that you're going to execute on after leaving today's program. Now, you'll probably, if you're writing down all the things that you want to go execute on, there could be 40 plus items. We're going to cover a lot of ground today. So there could be quite a few, but most importantly, the things that you write down are things that's like putting into action. I always say knowledge is not power, execution is power. The first step towards execution is actually writing down what you're going to be working on. So the goal today is to write down 5 items that you are going to execute on. I did notice, by the way, I like to always give a shout out to our very own Carolyn Brown. I see Carolyn made it on this month. Carolyn is with our Florida offices, and Carolyn probably has attended definitely more than 20 boot camps. She comes back all the time because she's always in constant improvement of her business. And I always like to say, like, we've been doing this program now for several years, and it's always the first Friday of the month. And we always add to it and we change it up a little bit. So no boot camp looks like the last boot camp. They're all slightly different. And we do make it so that you can come back at any time. You write down your 5 or 7 or 10 things that you're going to go execute on, and then come back at a later date and watch it again in 3 months or 6 months. And then find a few more things that you're going to go execute on. So with that, I want to give you guys, I'll give you, for the agents, we have about 50-50 today. I could see roughly half of our attendees thus far, at least on the Zoom meeting. I know we have some agents watching through our ROAR group. We have some agents watching through our Inside the Den group. But I could see already that we have about a 50-50 mix. 50% of the agents that are attending today are agents that are LAER agents. About 50% are agents from outside brokerages. So just to give you a little history on who we are, we're an independent real estate brokerage, originally based out of Massachusetts, although now we have offices in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, and Florida. We cover all of New England, so we do a lot of business as well in Rhode Island and Connecticut, and we have goals to expand into those markets as well. We're an independent real estate company. We've been in business for 10 years, and where our name came from, LAER, is when we started the brokerage. Previous to starting LAER, I owned franchise real estate brokerage. And when I left the franchise to create LAER, I had hired a branding agency, and they asked, what is the name of your company going to be? And I said, I don't know. I need help coming up with the name. And they said, okay, what is the goal of the company? And I said, our goal is to help agents become the best versions of themselves in the real estate business. And they said, okay, what makes a great real estate agent? And I said, the best real estate agents are strong, they're negotiators of difficult terrain, and they are true protectors of their clients. In other words, the best agents don't focus on the money first, they focus on helping people. So at the time, we put all those words into a Google search: strong, protector, negotiator. And the first thing that came up in our search was a lion. So we said, that's it. We're going to build our brand around the lions of real estate. Lions in the jungle stay together in layers. The lions of real estate are also at LAER. We changed the spelling of LAER because our LAER is the mirror image of real, since we're in the real estate business. We then created the acronym Local Agents Extraordinary Results. So I tell agents and consumers, sometimes you see a lion statue in front of a home or in front of a walkway. That is because the lion is a symbol of protection for the home. We look at it that there's a new symbol of protection for real estate across New England and Florida, and that is the LAER for sale sign. So today we have about 800 real estate agents, as I mentioned, spread throughout New England and Florida, and continuing to grow. One of the things I do want to point out for the agents that are with other brokerages is when we set our mission, we said we're going to help all agents become the best versions of themselves. It wasn't just agents that work at our brokerage. We put it out there that we want to help all agents become the best versions of themselves. And so you will see that we do open up our training programs, even our agent dashboard, which has all kinds of wonderful materials to help you grow a business, is open to agents who attend our boot camps. So with that, let's dig in. We have a lot to cover. By the way, if you logged in a little bit late, this program is always open to agents from all firms. You will get, even if you're at an outside brokerage, you will get as much out of the next 3 hours as agents who are LAER agents. So I don't want to scare anybody off because we have the LAER logo on the front page. It is truly a program where you're going to get tons of great content, regardless of what brokerage you work at. Now, this guide that you're looking at is our program and services guide. It just serves kind of as a blueprint of some of the stuff we're going to cover today. When agents join our brokerage, we give them this 40-page booklet so that they have a nice, concise place to look for all the tools and resources. You can download this. Anybody on the call today can download our guide at LAER Realty. That's LAER Realty.com/success tools. When you go to that page, you'll see this guide right in front of you. If you scroll to the bottom, you can download it as a PDF so that if you want to print it and take notes throughout the day, or I always like the PDF version of this because there's all kinds of clickable links within the document. So it's a great 40-page manual on how to grow your business. So we kind of use this as a blueprint as we go throughout today's program. So let's start digging into what's in this 40-page booklet. First part you'll notice is we have the first few pages of it just define our cultural values. That's because when we also use this guide when agents are considering moving to our brokerage. And we always say, make sure your values align with whatever brokerage you go to so that you know that you're going to be there for a while. So we define our values right up front within the guide. We then talk about the fact that we're an independent real estate brokerage. We help about 4,000 buyers and sellers and renters annually. It makes us one of the largest real estate brokerages in the country, but what makes us really proud is that we're independent. We are not tied to any type of franchise. So we're kind of a rare breed. We do a lot of business with a small footprint of real estate agents. We're always ranked as one of the top 150 independent real estate companies in the country, just based on the amount of business that our agents do. Okay, let's dig into some marketing stuff. Hopefully you guys are ready to take some notes and start upgrading your listing presentations, buyer presentations, pre-listing packages, all kinds of stuff we're going to cover in the first hour of today's program. So our LAER program and services guide is broken down into 4 sections. Each section has this big yellow and blue or golden blue marker, so you know you're moving into a new section. The way we've designed the guide is based on what interests most agents most. So you'll see the marketing and branding is the first section, which is why we'll spend an hour this morning covering that, maybe even more than an hour. The second section of the guide is technology. The third section is training and coaching. And then the fourth section is administrative support. So let's dig into some really cool marketing stuff. Okay. First is our LAER agent services. So I mentioned a few minutes ago that we do open up our brokerage for all agents. Our goal is to help all agents become the best version of themselves. And so we have an agent dashboard that has everything you need to run your business is on our agent dashboard. So when you're going through the guide, you can actually just click on the LAER agent services link and it takes you right over to our dashboard. Now you'll notice I can just start using this dashboard. I'm not logging in. I don't need a username and password. I can just start working and utilizing the dashboard. So let's take a quick look of all the stuff on here, because this is where we post most of the great content that you'll be able to use for your business. So LAER agent services dashboard. As you go down, you'll see like all these little houses we have. Those are like the buttons. we figure you guys are real estate agents. You like to explore houses. So we've given you some houses to go explore. You can click on each of these and start exploring all the amazing tools that we have right at your fingertips. Literally everything you need to build a highly successful real estate business is right here. So tons of little houses, and you'll see each area is broken down. Marketing, branding, and presentations is always like right at the top of the list of things agents need and want assistance with. So we'll go through a lot of the great tools that are spread out here. But then as you go down, you'll see agent growth and development. We also have a toolbox of other cool tools like tech tools, agent safety tools, sustainability tools in case you're interested in building a sustainability niche for your business. And then at the very bottom, we have our brokerage blog. And I also just want to point out a couple of cool things at the very, very top here. Because sometimes this little table of contents right at the very top sometimes gets missed. And there's a couple cool things on here. First, if you're a LAER agent, we post a schedule of where all the staff are located each day. We have 40 plus offices. That's 40 plus offices. And sometimes as a LAER agent, you want to have somebody drop off something at one of the locations, or like a check or a signed document. And you're like, is anybody in the office today? This is where you get that answer. So the Happy Agent Host schedule will tell you who is located in what office. So if you want to have a document dropped off or a check dropped off, go there first because you know somebody's going to be in the office to receive it. The other piece I want to point out is the LAER News. This is just an internal company newsletter that's posted monthly. It's a 4-page newsletter, just lets you know all the stuff happening within our brokerage. If you're a LAER agent and you want to contribute some news, something that you want an announcement or a committee update or an event you want to let people know about, you can go to this link, laerrealty.com/news, and that lets our publishing team know that there's something that you would like included in the newsletter. So you could go down to the bottom here to download it as a PDF, but also you can look at like the last 2 years of editions, but there's so much awesome content in here. It's a place where all of our committees will put what they're talking about, like tech tips, things like that. Also like things that are happening within the lives of our agents. So wedding announcements, births, accomplishments of your fellow agents. We also do like a book review, a movie review, any new classes that are coming out, like this month or last month, we have a deposit link. We always have a sustainability section, and then we always let you know all the birthdays of all the agents for that month. So it's a really great newsletter to just let you guys, if you're a LAER agent, know all the stuff happening in the brokerage. The other piece is most of these other links go down to the sections below. So if you click on them, it's just going to scroll the screen down to the section that you're looking for. So now let's just scroll down to the different sections and see what we have. The very top of the very first section in our agent services dashboard is for recently joined LAER agents. We have our program and services guide. That's this guide that we started on a few minutes ago. Frequently asked questions. That's just like the policies within the company. Agents have questions about stuff. If you have a quick question, you can go to frequently asked questions, and then tell the world. Those are like social media pieces and letters. So you can let the world know that you've joined the Lions of Real Estate. If you keep scrolling down, you can show recently joined agents within the brokerage. We have been adding about 20 to 30 new agents per month. And sometimes agents watching the boot camp are new agents who recently joined our brokerage, and they say, hey, how come I'm not on here yet? We don't post you here until we have your professional photo and your bio, because we want to show our team what you look like, so that if they see you around the office, they could say hello, and also just give a little bio about who you are. So as we receive photos and bios for our new agents, we post you here, so that your team members get to know who you are. All right, down to the fun stuff, which is the marketing, branding, and presentation section. So much content here. First, let's go to the guides, presentations, and brochures. You could spend a whole day on here. Now, one thing that's important to note is our company is run off of Canva. And in case you're not familiar with Canva, it's a marketing program / app. So it's web-based. You can access it from your computer. You can access it from your cell phone. Canva is for making marketing pieces. Now, many years ago, we used to use Adobe for creating our marketing pieces. The problem with Adobe is that our marketing team would create a piece in Adobe, and then if the agent wanted any changes to that piece, they would have to reach out to the marketing department and say, this is all the changes I need on the document. With Canva, it's so easy to use. So Adobe was like, in order to use the Adobe platform, you really needed to take a lot of classes in order to understand exactly how to use it. Canva's not like that. Even if you've never used Canva, I promise you, you would open it today and figure it out really fast. It just makes sense. So it's just so easy to use. So Canva changed our ability to offer even more marketing stuff to agents, because our marketing team is constantly creating new pieces. And through Canva, we share what is called a template. So when you click on any of our templates, and we have tons of them here, when you click on a template, so let's do this one. By the way, the very first one is not actually a Canva piece. The very first one, we recently had a video made explaining the hidden variables that impact a home's value. This has to do with the buyer agent fee. We're going to show you lots of other stuff as well regarding the upcoming changes on August 17th. But this video is a great piece that explains to sellers that one of the things that impacts the value of their property is whether the buyer can buy it. So the buyer pool, how big the buyer pool is, and that when the seller offers to pay a buyer agent, they have expanded the buyer pool. They have a bigger pool of buyers, so they're going to potentially get more for the property. They've potentially increased the value of the property because they have created a bigger demand for the property. So that's a video. All the rest of these are Canva pieces. Okay, let's take a look at one in case you've never used Canva. So this is one, you'll see a lot of the most recent marketing pieces we've added really focus on buyer presentations and buyer guides, and also explaining to sellers the value of paying a buyer agent. So those are some of the more recent marketing pieces. As you guys are well aware, it's because of the changes. So when you open a document, this is understanding buyer agency, you click use template for new design. Now, in case you've never used Canva, this opens. Once it opens, it's yours. You own it now. So you can make whatever changes you want. Nobody else is going to see those changes. So you're not changing our version. If the person who sits next to you goes and opens the same document 5 minutes later, it looks exactly like this, even if you've gone in and made changes to your version. Now, before I show you some of the cool things you can do with this, I want to point out that there's two versions of Canva. There's a free version and a paid version. All of our templates will open on both the free version and the paid version. That's number one. So even if you have the free version of Canva, you can open all of our pieces. Second, if you're using the free version of Canva, you will have to do slightly more work to utilize the pieces than an agent who has the paid version. Here's why. One of the reasons why we use the paid version of Canva is because we like to have access to stock images, lots and lots of stock images. A stock image is exactly like this picture you see right on the front cover of a real estate agent showing a property. That is a stock image. In other words, nobody from LAER took that photo. We are using a copywritten photo of somebody else's. So through Canva, they have, even under the free version, they do have stock images, but under the paid version, they have millions of stock images. And because we're marketers, all of us as real estate agents, we want to have access to as many stock images as possible so our marketing pieces look as beautiful as possible. Now, what will happen is sometimes an agent is using the free version of Canva. They open up one of the templates and they start customizing it and making it beautiful. And then they go to download it. So this particular one that we're looking at right now is the Understanding Buyer Agency Guide. So once I'm done editing this, I can download it. So I just go to share, I go to download, and I would download this as a PDF. So depending what you're working on, you can choose how you want to download items. This I would download as a standard PDF, and then it'll create this little book for me that I can print and hand out to customers. If you're using the free version of Canva and it won't let you download it to a PDF, it's because one of the images within your book is for the paid version of Canva. And if you're using the free version, it's not going to let you use the image that is only available to people in Canva who are paying. Does that mean you can't use the whole document? Absolutely not. All you have to do is go change the image. Now, how do you know which image it is? It'll tell you, there'll be a watermark across whichever image you're not supposed to be using. So let's just say it's this image. It has a big watermark that says Canva across it. You would just go to Elements and find another photo. So you would search under the free version. They're going to also have photos. So you just won't have as many to choose from. So you could go here. I just put in the word real estate agent, and right here under the photos, it gives me a whole bunch of, by the way, when I'm looking at this, so I can see that the one I'm about to use is a pro photo. Here's one right here. This is a free photo. So you'll see when you're downloading, well, I could see because I have the pro version, the paid version, but some of these images are not paid. So if you're a free Canva user, you would take one of the free images. Whoops, I'm going to put that one back. Just scroll it over, and now you should have no problem downloading it. unless there's another pro version image somewhere in the document. The only reason you would ever have a problem downloading something that we've given you a template on, the only reason you would not be able to download something is you're using the free version of Canva, and there is a paid version photo within the document. It'll be clear to you because there'll be a watermark across it, and you just have to go change out the photo. So I'm going to go back. I like the other picture better. That's one of the big reasons we use the Canva Pro, is you just get way more images. So this is the Understanding Buyer Agency booklet. And you'll see you can go through and change anything in here. There's nothing that you can't change, because some of you who are watching today are not LAER agents, and you say, hey, I like that. By the way, this little commission level service, we just put it on there as an idea for agents that want to offer it, but you could take out that page, for example, if you wanted to. You can delete pages, you can add pages, you can change the logo. So you could just click on our logos anywhere here and change those out as well. There's nothing that's locked on our images. So like I just clicked on our logo here. If I wanted to put in a different logo, I would just delete it, and then I'd add another logo. So that's what our document on Understanding Buyer Agency. What I like about this document, this is a new one that our team recently came out with, but it talks about the advantages of working with a buyer's agent, 80 ways in which a buyer agent works for you, how buyer agents are compensated. And like I said, this was just an idea. Buyer level of service, commission options, in case you wanted to offer different options. Totally up to you. Just something that we threw in there. So that was one document. We also have this newly released piece. This one is, we'll edit this one as well. Offering a buyer agent commission. You'll see we put a little spot here for you to put your image in there. So this is a document for sellers, and it gives the reasons why it's important to offer a buyer agent commission when selling a home. So enticing motivated buyers, experienced representation, efficient sales process, increased visibility, competitive advantage, market insights. So all this can be changed. So if there's something you don't like, or it's not your brokerage policy, all of this can be changed. But these are, this particular document is meant for sellers. We have a seller net proceed sheet. Let me see. There's tons of stuff in here to kind of wade through. Okay. One of the big things that we've been creating this last 3 or 4 months is really amazing buyer guides and buyer presentations. So up until this year, in my opinion, most buyer agents did not have a buyer presentation. Almost every agent has a listing presentation, because listing agents have always been used to showing up at a seller's house, giving a presentation, and then asking the seller to commit to something, sign a contract. So it has always been that you have to show your value. You have to show your value proposition. So you show up to the house for a listing, you go through your listing presentation, and then which shows your value, then you ask them to commit. In my opinion, most people did not have a buyer presentation. That is going to change. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for you to compete in the new market if you don't have a buyer presentation, if you're working with buyers, of course. So the reason for that is because now we're asking our buyers to commit to something, just like on a listing. So one of the things that I think is wonderful for any agent that's like, I hate these changes. Why did they have to do this? The wonderful, beautiful, exciting piece of all the changes is that I've been in real estate now for 25 years, and it has always been the mentality that listings are like money in the bank for the listing agent. It's never been that way for buyers. So buyers, if you had 5 listings, you'd be super excited because you know that you're going to have a big fat bank account in a few months. Never has been that way if you had 5 buyers. It was like, I got 5 buyers, but buyers are not loyal. They'll look at lots of houses with lots of people. So the most wonderful piece of the changes happening right now is that, hey, we have to do a little bit more work. We have to do a great buyer presentation to develop rapport and show our value proposition. But that buyer, once they sign the agreement, it's like a listing contract. Do 100% of them close? But no, 100% of listings don't close either. But you are much more likely to have a closing if you have a signed agreement. So that's the beauty of the new buyer agreements, that you have that. It's like having a listing contract. Somebody is committed to working with you to find a home. So you need to have a really good buyer presentation. You've come to the right place. We have lots of them. Some agents like to do a PowerPoint presentation. By the way, I do want to point out that some of these need to be tweaked a little bit, especially if you're at a different brokerage, because I don't know what your broker policies are, and they change broker to broker. They also change state by state. So what you'll see when you go through our presentations, our Florida ones are a little bit different than our New England presentations. Our Florida agents practice transaction brokerage. Our New England agents do represent buyers and sellers, so it's a little bit different. So what we write that we offer within these presentations is a little bit different. But no matter what, each agent, whether you're a New England agent or a Florida agent, or it doesn't matter, every agent should take the time to go through these pieces to make sure that, one, they comply with your company policy, but also that they become true to you, that you're not just offering something that you just printed off and you show up. Listen, we've done most of the legwork. So if you were going to build any of these presentations from scratch, it would take you 4, 5, 6 hours to build a really strong presentation. We have given you like the cliff notes here. It's super easy. So let's take a look at the LAER guide to buyer representation. This one is for New England. This is presentation. So you'll see some of these are like set for a presentation. Like if you were going to go and bring your computer or your tablet and do a presentation on your computer or tablet for the buyer. So this one's presentation format. Some agents like a booklet format, so we have those too. So you'll see these are set up that you have to customize it, of course, like you have to upload your photo here, your bio. And then if you're with a different brokerage, you're going to have to update the brokerage section. We put a little section in here. So if you have some nice testimonials from clients, you can upload those here. By the way, if there's anything you don't have, you can delete pages. And then for this presentation, we did a 10-step buying process: evaluation, consultation, representation, Do I need a buyer agent? How agents are paid? The buyer contract. And then we say, actually give them a screenshot of the contract. Step 2, determining a price range, evaluating mortgage options, shopping for mortgage rate, pre-approval, what mortgage insurance is, evaluating communities is step 3, how to shop for a home. I always, by the way, tell our agents, both whether you're at a buyer appointment or a seller appointment, you have to be talking about Zillow. If you don't have a conversation about Zillow with your customers, you're losing business to Zillow. So basically, the conversation is telling a buyer, do not shop for a home on Zillow. Number one, it's not even a great search experience. You can only narrow your search to $50,000 increments. So that's not a great search capability. You also cannot narrow by school districts. There's tons of things that you cannot narrow down, which there are other places where the consumer can actually narrow it down to like the school district they want. Also, you have to let them know that they're not contacting a listing agent. They're contacting the agent that reaches back from Zillow is somebody that is paid for a lead. If you're talking to sellers, you have to talk about the fact that Zestimates are highly inaccurate. And most consumers don't love being inundated by sales calls. Zillow's in the business of selling information. So they will sell the information to real estate people, mortgage people. So the one other piece is important to note is that when the consumer is shopping on Zillow, it's oftentimes not even an accurate search in that they don't update the feed as fast as other places do. So at our company, we recommend Real Scout for a property search, but it's important to embed into your presentation why somebody should not be shopping on Zillow. We then have a conversation with the consumer about what to do when they're shopping an open house to make sure they let you know. What happens if they like an off-market property? Step 5 is due diligence. Step 6 is pricing and offer strategy. We cover bidding wars. Step 7 is writing the offer. And then what happens with after writing an offer, there's a rejected offer, an accepted offer. Step 8, inspections. Some things for the consumer to think about in the inspection process. What happens if there's too many repairs? Thinking about home warranties. Step 9 is appraisal and mortgage conditions. I know I'm going through this super fast. It's just to give you a really brief idea, an overview of what's in these presentations so you could see that this is not junk. There are, we've taken a lot of time building really comprehensive pieces so that you have a head start when you go to customize this for yourself. Step 10, closing, final walkthrough, closing documents, etc. And then why work with a realtor? We're a realtor organization. And then a thank you at the end where you would put your picture in again. So that's just one. We have a whole bunch of these. There's Florida versions as well. This particular one is a presentation version of the buyer presentation, but we also have these ones that are like a buyer's guide. So it's more like a booklet type. Let's take a look at this one. This is a booklet version of a presentation. So let's go through here. So it covers a lot of the same items, just in a slightly different format. You'll see this one's a little bit shorter than like a 40-page presentation. So this all truly comes down to what you're most comfortable with. And there's other ones as well. I mean, there's a lot of different, you'll see we also have listing presentations. If you are into sustainability, and high performance homes. We have high performance home listing presentations and high performance home buyer presentations in here. You'll see we have scripts. So scripts for talking to a seller about offering co-brokes. We have seller scripts, buyer scripts. We have them by state. And if you keep going down, there's even more. There's like these cool, we have one for buyers and one for sellers. These are like little, it looks like a Monopoly board and it goes through, I think this one is, yeah, this one's the seller one. We have a buyer one as well. You would change out your photo and stuff like that. But it shows the whole process and it's just a flyer format. Let's see. This whole section is just really for exploring. We have a great little expired listing packet as well. The expired listing packet is a booklet format. So if you're an agent that reaches out to expired listings, this is a great little handout. Why your home didn't sell. It's like a 9-page booklet of why your home didn't sell. Great for agents that are reaching out to expireds. We have a LAER brochure in here. If you're a LAER agent, this is a 4-page brochure about our company. We also have a investor's guide. So if you're working with new investors and you want to give them a little booklet that's customized to you, you can take this. This is an 11-page booklet that you can customize to you, and it's all information on investing. So, couple things that I want to talk about before we move out of this section of marketing. As you can see, there's tons of stuff here, and you really kind of have to explore. Check back regularly because we add to it regularly. So one of the things, if you've ever attended any of our training classes, such as we have our Alcorn business growth system, one of the things we talk a lot about is checklists. There's a wonderful book by Atul Gawande called The Checklist Manifesto. The Checklist Manifesto just talks about that in multiple businesses, the businesses that succeed and do the best are the ones that work off of a checklist. And there are millions of businesses that rely on checklists. Even think of this, like when an airline pilot takes off and lands, they have a series of checklists that they must go through. It is a mandatory checklist to ensure the safety of passengers. And if something doesn't check the box, the flight does not take off. The same happens in the medical field, like at hospitals and stuff like that. So the medical fields also have checklists. So when they're doing a surgery, they have a checklist of things they do to ensure the safety of the person that is undergoing a surgery. So if you want to ensure consistent, long-term, positive results for your business, it's important to work off of a checklist. So all of these documents that you're looking at are forms of checklists. A buyer presentation is a checklist. A seller presentation, it is a checklist. By working off of these checklists, you ensure consistent long-term results for your business. So the checklists also have to be forever evolving, getting better, changing. Think about this. I had several years ago, one of our agents had reached out to me and she was so upset because she is a very strong listing agent. She's one of the highest performing agents within the market that she does business in. And she called me so upset that she didn't get a listing. Now, she called the seller and just said, I understand that you went with another real estate agent. Could I ask if there's anything I could have done better to have earned the listing? I just want to know so I can be better next time. And the seller who went with the other agent said the only reason we chose the other agent is because she gives money back to charity with each closing. She gives back. So our agent said, by the way, our agent who lost a listing because another agent gives back, our agent literally volunteers like 15 hours every weekend at a wildlife sanctuary. During the week, in between appointments, she shuffles foster dogs around. She has done the Jimmy Fund Cancer Walk, which is like a 26-mile walk. She has done for the last 20 years. She constantly spends her life giving money and time and resources to charity. So to her, it was like a slap in the face that somebody that definitely doesn't do as much had won a listing on that very premise. And I said, oh, do you talk about your charity work in your listing presentation? And she said, no. And I said, okay, then it doesn't, to the consumer, it doesn't exist if it's not in your listing presentation. So I said, the gift of all this is you should have a slide in your listing presentation that at least talks about what you do to give back. So the point of it is that as you grow your business and as you begin working off of your new buyer presentation or your listing presentation, we have them all here. As you work on them, you're going to find holes. You're going to find something that you forgot to mention to a buyer or seller. And when you do, it means that you go back and you tweak the checklist / presentation. You make it better. So that over time, not only do you have consistent results over the long term, but you improve your results over the long term by improving the checklist. So it's just a different way to think about all of these resources available. Now, second thing I wanted to point out is we said at the beginning of today's program that knowledge is not power. Execution is power. So that means that there's stuff that we've already covered in the first 1 hour, just in this one page that we've visited so far on marketing resources. There's stuff here that you should be executing on right now, because it's not enough. If you're taking 3 hours out of a Friday morning to learn how to better your business, that says something about you. It says that you care about your business, you're committed to your business. Where sometimes the disconnect happens is agents do leave the program and they don't execute on something. And then the 3 hours was a total waste. It's really important to start figuring out right now. Hopefully you already have a few things written down, because writing something down is the starting point of action. It is the starting point of execution. So I'm going to list a couple things that I think you should execute on right away, unless you've already figured these pieces out for your business. Number one, you have to have a buyer presentation. The only reason you would not have a buyer presentation is if you're not working buyers, then you don't need one, obviously. But if most of you are probably working buyers in your business, 100%, you have to have a buyer presentation. Number one. So, number one thing you should execute on is your buyer's presentation. And then, is it going to take you 5 hours to create your buyer presentation? No way. It's going to take you maybe an hour if you're super thorough, maybe 1 hour because we've done all the work. We've done all the like heavy lifting. You have to go in and start customizing something we've already created. That's number one. Number two, I would imagine most of you have a listing presentation, but if you don't, you should have one. And if you haven't updated it in a while, why not go in and take a peek at ours and see if there's anything from our listing presentations that might work well within your presentation. If it's a listing presentation that you've been working on or working off of for a long time, it needs some updating no matter what, because you need to have some slides within your listing presentation about why a seller should consider paying a buyer agent, why they should either A, consider offering buyer agent comp, or two, why they should consider paying buyer agent comp. So at the listing presentation, we now have to have these conversations. So all of that, it should be in your listing presentation. So most likely, number two on your list is you should have some sort of nice listing presentation. Next, packages. I believe it's a good idea to have a really nice package that you can leave behind with a buyer or seller. So there are three types of packages that I recommend agents have. That's a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. All the stuff you need to make your packages is right in here where we just covered. So for example, if you're doing a buyer package, you might have like a buyer guide, the understanding buyer agency booklet, maybe that monopoly board piece that talks about the process of buying a home. If you're a LAER agent, you would include the LAER 4-page brochure. There's some other cool pieces that kind of you have to go through here and see. There's definitely other cool pieces that you could add. For example, there's a trusted vendor list. We'll talk about vendors in a little while because that's like a whole unbelievable place to explore for your business. We also have this cool locals guide. So for your market area, you can make like the top 10 cool places to go visit in a market area. So a little buyers or local guide to include. So there's lots of stuff in here. Doesn't need to be super robust or confusing, but you should have a package that you leave behind at your presentations. And I always say have a few of them printed, like 5 to 10 buyer packages, 5 to 10 listing packages, and 5 to 10 investor packages. By having the packages all completed, you are heading out into the universe saying, I'm open for business, which is really important because we're not going to spend a lot of time focusing on energy and vibration today, but whatever you think about, energy follows thoughts. So if you have stuff that is not ready within your business, you're sending out a vibration of not readiness for your business, which means you're not going to attract as much business as if you were ready for business. So I say have your buyer packages, seller packages, and listing packages all completed, printed in a pile, so you could hand one out at any moment. That way you are sending out through your thoughts the energy / vibration of readiness to do business. So those are a few things to start executing on for your business. So let's head back. All of that was under marketing, branding, and presentations, under guides, presentations, and brochures. So next, NAR settlement resources. Let's click over here. We've been putting together all kinds of cool stuff to help you navigate the settlement, the changes in the settlement. Now, a couple things I want to point out. Things might be different if you're at a brokerage that is not LAER. things might be slightly different. So if you're going to use any of these documents, there's some stuff, no matter what, you can use at any brokerage. But for example, right at the top here, we have our own LAER Realty playbook to all the new real estate forms. So let me just share this. This is like a 57-page booklet that we wrote, and it covers Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Florida. Any of the forms that have thus far been released in these states, we created a little book with I say it's like the Cliff Notes version of the real estate forms, so that you could see what the changes are to the forms, and then we put notes. So let's just head down, for example. Now, for example, here's the Massachusetts. Whoops, I just kind of skipped through that really fast. The Massachusetts forms. So for Massachusetts, we talk about all the different forms. We give you samples of each of the forms with notes. So for example, this is the Massachusetts listing form that is put out by the Mass Association of Realtors, and we screenshotted it, and then we give you notes as to how that listing form has changed. So this 57-page booklet, which is changing as well because in each of the states, forms are still being released, you could start to get acquainted with exactly what has changed from where it was before. So we screenshot the little section, and then we tell you how our brokerage is handling that change and what to write in each box and things like that. So that's our LAER guide, or our LAER playbook to the new real estate forms. Second, the video I mentioned a few minutes ago, we created our own video that explains to sellers why it's important to consider paying a buyer agent, because by offering to pay a buyer agent, potentially they expand their buyer pool, and a bigger buyer pool potentially means more demand. We also have that Canva document I showed you, which explains to a seller all the reasons why they should pay a buyer agent. Let's see. We also, anytime we find a really good article or white paper by an outside authority, we put it here. So for example, there was a article from the lighter side of real estate that did a wonderful job articulating all of the reasons why buyers should have a buyer agent and not go unrepresented. Same with Coast to Coast Closing. They have a wonderful white paper here, so we included that. Anytime we find something that we think would be helpful to include in a buyer package or a seller package, we post it here. So that's our little toolbox, NAR settlement toolbox. If you're with a different brokerage, you really also have to talk to your broker, because your brokerage may be handling things different. Mostly with that playbook that we created. We created the playbook for our agents to have an idea, just to know what the changes are state by state. And we break down all the new forms, but your brokerage may require different forms, for example. In a few minutes, we'll have Sergio talk about our weekly social media assistant. I do want to point out, if you're a LAER agent, although we do a lot of marketing stuff for you guys, we also take special requests. So if you ever need anything, please just fill out this special marketing request. Maybe you're doing an ad in a newspaper, or maybe you're really bad at Canva and you just need somebody to help you customize. It can be anything. Go to the special marketing requests. We have a robust marketing team that's here to help you. Open house resources. A couple things I want to note here. All kinds of cute, like sign-in sheets, feedback forms, little signs to post throughout the house for your open house. We also have like little tags for popcorn, so you can do like thanks for popping in to my open house gift. These open into Canva, so you can print those out and personalize them. We have a section of like activity sheets for kids. So you can have a little section at your open house just for the kiddos, so their parents can explore. If you're a LAER agent, if you ever need open house coverage, please just fill out this form. Need open house coverage. This is for agents. We have a mix of agents. If you're an agent that has a lot of listings and can't do all of your open houses, we have hundreds of agents that want to do your open house. So fill this form out. It sends an email out to whichever LAER offices you select to let them know that you need coverage. And it's very rare that we don't get all of the open houses covered. Also, if you're doing a broker open house, we want our LAER agents to participate and show up and help you. So fill out our broker open house notification sheet. All right, commercial resources. So most of the business we do at LAER is residential. However, over the last few years, we've had a lot of agents begin to expand into commercial real estate. So we've been building out our commercial real estate resource section. So if you're dabbling in commercial real estate and you want to check out some of our stuff, we have like commercial listing presentations. This is like a book format presentation for commercial listings. It's 25 pages long, a guide to commercial real estate. We have commercial offering memorandums. We have all these worksheets for commercial valuation models, all of our LAER logos. Also, we do have a commercial committee that meets once a month. So if you're interested in participating in our monthly meeting, either in person, it's in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, or by Zoom, you could sign up to be on the commercial network list, and then you'll get email notifications every time there's an event happening within the commercial network. And then we also have a LAER commercial Facebook group of just our agents, commercial agents who share ideas and stuff like that. That's all under the commercial section. Signs, apparel, marketing. Okay, there's some cool stuff here that I want to point out. First of all, if you're a LAER agent and you want to buy like LAER signs or LAER apparel, this is where you can do it. So for example, if I click on this, this is Markville, and it takes you to the LAER Realty page. So I just pick which LAER Realty office is it. I pick it, and it gives me all kinds of LAER stuff I can buy, from apparel to all kinds of stuff. Same with the signs. If I click on any of these, it takes me over to the sign company that already has tons of LAER stuff already created. I'm gonna close that out. So all of the sign designs, things like that. Now, at the very bottom of this page, there's some important resources here that you're going to want to check out, because these may want to be on your top 5 things that you're going to execute on. The first one, these are like print marketing companies that you may want to consider working with. The first one is MLS mailings. So MLS mailings, by the way, I don't get paid anything to refer these companies. We only refer them because they have helped our agents grow their businesses. So there's no ulterior motive or interest in us telling you about them, except that they're really helpful for building a real estate business. The first one, MLS mailings. This is an automated set it and forget it postcard system for just listed and just sold postcards. So what you do, it hooks into your MLS. So you set it up once and then you forget it. This is important for everybody because as you grow your business, you only have so many hours in the day. So at some point, agents hit a wall, they can't do anymore. So you have to find systems that you can build within your business that are working regardless of whether you're actually taking action. Like the system itself takes the action for you. Um, so this is the one that we recommend for set it and forget it, just listed, just sold postcards. Let's just take a look at pricing. Here's the pricing. It does change because postage prices change. But if you wanted to send jumbo postcards to 100 people a month, it's $127 or 120. I shouldn't say per month. I should say per listing. So this hooks into your MLS. You go in and you set it up once. You upload your photo, your contact information, and your logo. And then every time you get a new listing, 100 mailers will go out. Every time you get sold, 100 postcards will go out. You could change the number, by the way. You could do 50 if you wanted to. You could also do 200 or 300. But it hooks into your MLS, which is nice so that you don't have to think about it. It knows every time you get a new listing, it pulls the photo from MLS and creates your marketing piece and sends it. So it is a set it and forget it system. If you are not using just listed, just sold postcards right now, I recommend you add that to your to-do list. Super simple to set this up. And yeah, it's an expense, but it's kind of a business expense you have to have for your business, in my opinion. So I feel this should be on your top 5 list if you don't already have a set it and forget it system for your just listed, just sold postcards. The second one is the personal marketing company. This is also a very robust marketing company, and they offer tons of products. The one product, I think this is it. Hold on. It takes me a minute to figure out. They have tons of different automated products, but the one that we have agents use, the automated, I think it's this one, automated client follow-up. They have lots of other ones to explore as well. The automated client follow-up program. This is through the personal marketing company. Again, this is one that if you do not have this is such a small business expense that will save a listing for you down the road. After you sell a house, the idea behind this is after you sell a house to somebody, you spend $48. That's a one-time charge of $48. And for the next 5 years, that consumer is going to get 21 mailings from you. It's got your picture, it's your contact information. Each mailer is a little different. Sometimes it's a postcard, sometimes it's a little magazine, but they all have your contact information. So the National Association of Realtors has a statistic that a super high percentage of real estate agents do not stay in touch with their clients after they close because the agent is on to the next transaction and they forget to stay in touch with the person that just closed, because when you just close on a transaction, most likely they're not going to buy another house for 5 years, and 5 years seems so far away until it's here. So this sets you up for success because now you've made sure that that person is going to continue to hear from you for the next 5 years. So it's the personal marketing company. They have other cool campaigns as well, but that's just the after client care program. I think is a no-brainer for $48, a one-time charge, to make sure that you're not forgetting a client that you just sold a house to and you're staying in touch, because it creates consistent results for you. Wise Pelican, this is also a print mail company. I love specifically Wise Pelican because their postcards are really high quality, but they also have this cool product where they'll create a QR code for you and they'll give you this landing page. So you could send out these postcards for a free CMA where the postcard will have your QR code on it, and then it will take them to a landing page where they fill out information for a free CMA, and that information gets emailed directly to you. Now, could you build that yourself? 100%. You can create your own QR code. You can create your own landing page to capture leads, but most agents end up not doing it, or they keep putting it off to the future because it's a little bit like extra work if you're going to be doing it yourself. Wise Pelican handles it all for you. It's just part of the design process for doing a postcard. So if I sat here right now and wanted to send out a postcard to my entire neighborhood of 250 houses, and I wanted to have a QR code on it with a landing page where they could scan the QR code, and then it's going to ask for their name and phone number and address or whatever I decide. It would take me about 15 minutes to get that whole campaign created and sent using using Wise Pelican. So just a super easy postcard mailing project program. Let me close this out. All right, next one. Yellow Letters Complete. Yellow Letters Complete answers a very specific type of print mail issue. I think it's a good idea once a year to send out a handwritten card to your entire database. Maybe it's a holiday card, maybe it's a Thanksgiving card, maybe it's just, it could be Mother's Day, Father's Day, you name it. One of the reasons agents don't send out a handwritten card to their database is because their database is just too big. It would take a long time to sit and handwrite 300 note cards. Well, Yellow Letters Complete will actually handwrite 300 note cards for you. I've used their services at times throughout the years. They have two different types of handwritten cards that you can send. You can design everything. You can provide a very specific note card if you want to. They have two that you could choose from. One is they have like an AI handwritten note card where it's actually a computer handwriting it, but it looks very much like an actual handwritten note card. But they also will just handwrite a note card for you. So if you want like a real person handwriting 300 note cards, Yellow Letters Complete will do that for you. And then the last one is RSP, Data Driven Marketing, another postcard company. This is just like for bulk mailers and stuff like that. Every Door Direct mailers. One of the things I like about this RSP Direct is they have this cool mailing program that will give the consumer like a little breakdown of what has sold in their marketplace. So like the 20 houses that have sold with a little map of like the houses that sold, and it tells them all the prices. So, and then it's got your contact information and stuff like that. So it's kind of a cool little newsletter marketing piece that is extremely targeted and segmented with lots of information about the market. So that is RSP, Data Driven Marketing. So these, all five of these offer different types of print marketing materials for your business. And I think you have to have one or two of these incorporated into your plan for the end of 2024 and moving into 2025. So I would put one or two of these on your list of 5 things to execute on if you're not already using services like that. I think you should have just listed, just sold postcards going out. That's a no-brainer. I also think that you should have an after closing campaign where you're staying in touch for the next 5 years. I think that's a no-brainer as well. And then also like these other marketing programs, Wise Pelican is wonderful with their lead capture piece that they incorporate into the postcard. I love the idea of handwritten notes for Yellow Letters Complete. And then of course, I love those little targeted, the market campaign newsletters that are very targeted to a specific market. That's pretty cool for marketing campaigns. So one of these should be in your marketing portfolio for sure. Something that you're going to go execute on in your business. All right. So signs, apparel, marketing. We do also have for agents like to have a newsletter for your business. There are two types of newsletters in real estate for real estate agents. One is an email newsletter and one is a print newsletter. The one that I'm about to show you is a print newsletter. We'll talk about email newsletters in a little bit. Okay, this is the monthly ROAR report. So our marketing team once a month creates a 4-page newsletter for you to customize and send to customers. They deliver it in two different ways. One is a Canva template for 8.5 by 11, meaning if you want to print it on 8.5 by 11, it'll be 4 pages. Or some agents like to use that super long paper, 11 by 17, and fold it. We give you both templates so you can decide which one you like the best. If you click on it, it is meant for you to send out to customers. So it opens in Canva, which means you could change anything. Our marketing team puts these big red circles around stuff because sometimes agents forget to like change their name or phone number on the piece. So these once you change the phone number here, the idea is you just delete the red box or the red circle. So we put those there just as like an important reminder that there's some stuff you have to customize within this piece. And so it's a 4-page newsletter. How some of our agents use these is they're great to print out for your buyer packages and seller packages. They're great to print out for open houses. And we also have agents that mail these. So they'll have like a list of 200 people that they mail to every month, and they'll mail the ROAR report because it's just tips about home ownership, and if there's a holiday coming up, there's like ideas for the holidays. Any of this can be customized. So what some of our agents do is if they feature a vendor in here, for example, let's say my mortgage partner is going to pay for my mailing or split the cost of the mailing with me each month. I could delete out a section of this newsletter. And now I have a place that I could put a little advertisement about the mortgage company that I am sharing the expense with. So these are a nice little addition for your business. Doesn't cost you anything other than just the cost of printing them. If you're a LAER agent, you can print at any of our 40 office locations. All right, just going backwards, my computer's a little bit slow, which I think is, there we go. Next, if you're a LAER agent, we have a whole section of logos and images. So you need any LAER logos, we have lots of them to choose from. And there's also a section on here for seasonal pop-by tags. We're going to talk in a few minutes about all the different training programs and business growth systems we have for real estate agents. And one of the training programs or growth systems we have is Algorwin, which is a algorithm to help agents get to their first 30 transactions per year. And one of the parts of that program is getting out and meeting or doing pop buys to friends, family, past customers each month. So oftentimes agents want to bring an item of value to their pop-by. And so we've created all the tags for you here in Canva. So you can print them to Canva and tie them onto your gift, or tape them, or print them onto labels. So for example, let's say that right now you're planning for the fall and you want to plan a pop-by and you're going to do pumpkins. This will open, I clicked on a pumpkin one, and this opens to some tags that say, let's give them pumpkin to talk about. And then you would create these as tags, you customize them. So you put your picture, your contact information, then you print these out and you would deliver these to your client's house with a pumpkin. So we have all different ones to choose from, but most importantly, you really never have to think about what you're gonna, what kind of gift to bring with you. So before we keep going, that's kind of an overview of all of the done for you marketing pieces. I do want to have, and we still have a lot to cover, by the way. We have our agent growth and development system, our agent toolbox, and some other really cool stuff. So we're about halfway through, but we still have a lot to cover. I want to have Sergio from our marketing department come over and give you guys just an overview. If you are a LAER agent, in addition to all that stuff, we automatically create a lot of marketing pieces for you on a monthly basis, from your new listing packages, etc. So I want to have Sergio give you a quick overview of that stuff, and then we'll come back and finish going through the LAER agent services. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Sergio for a few minutes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
1 second, I gotta change my speakers here. All right, how about now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so thanks, Stacey. I'm gonna go over a couple of things, a couple of our programs that we have available for our LAER agents. Let me just pull up some of these things. So the first thing I wanted to cover is the marketing bundle. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, just a couple of programs that we have available for our LAER agents. One of them is the marketing bundle. So when your home goes live on the MLS, our team gets to work. Within 24 hours, you'll receive an email that looks just like this from our LAER Marketing Center. It'll congratulate you on your new listing, and then we have sorry about that, we have 3 links. We have a link to your actual bundle, and what your bundle is a listing brochure, as well as social media pieces that follow the whole transaction. So let me show you. This first link is to download your bundle, and this goes to a Google Drive folder. Now, you don't need a Google account to sign in and download these. This link itself, you'll be able to download any of these files just by clicking on the link. Again, you don't need to sign in. It does help to sign in because then you can have these saved in your own Google Drive, but you can download very quickly. For example, this is just a rental listing. We have a listing sheet as well as social media pieces. We include an open house sign-in sheet. You can get other open house resources on our LAER Agent Services page, but we like to include an open house sign-in sheet. We include also for our for sale listings a brochure for our preferred closing partners. This is a rental, so we don't have that in there. And then we also include just a standard brochure for LAER, right? So if you just want some standard information for our company that you can print out quickly and display at your open house, you can print one of these out. Now, we also include Canva templates. So we have one of the brochure. And with Canva, as Stacey mentioned before, you're able to make any changes that you want to this document, right? So you can change out the photos, you can change out the price, etc. If you have a price change later down the line. The photos are very easy to switch out. I'm going to make a copy because that is a live listing, but it's just a drag and drop process. So I can go to my uploads. I already have some photos of these sample homes, and I can just drag and drop just like that. I can drag and drop to any of these, and as long as I don't let go of the mouse button, I'm able to put it in the correct frame. Now within that frame, I can adjust and move the photo around. And then any of this text, I can change, right? So if I want to update the listing description here, or my photo, my contact information, or if there is a price change, I can just double click in that box, add in a new price, and then we're good to go. Now in Canva, to download these as a PDF, you click on share, you go to download, and then you download this as a PDF print if you're going to print it out. If you're going to send it out by email, you can do PDF standard. I've seen some agents download this as a PNG or JPEG and then post this on social media. You can do that too. And then for our social media pieces, this is the very exact same process. Again, you can change any of this. You can drag and drop. All the way at the bottom, we have two different designs that we don't initially include in your marketing bundle just because we don't have that information yet. So if you do have an upcoming open house that has the date and time, we include one that is just a regular open house without the date and time, a general one that you can use whenever. But if you have a specific date and time, you can put it in here. Again, you just double click in there and add in the date and time. And then we also have one for a price adjustment. So if there is a new price, you're able to change the price. We don't know the new price yet. When we create your bundle, we don't know if there's going to be a price change. But if there is, your new price design is ready to use. So you just add the new price, click on share. You can download this as a PNG, right? You can download the specific post, right? So if you click on select pages, you can just click on the page that you want. So I want this new price and download. This will download as a PNG, and then I can post this to Facebook. I recommend using the Canva iPhone app or Android app because you're able to access all of your designs and then download directly to your phone and then post from your phone. Another option that you have with Canva is that you're able to post on social media directly from your document. So here I can click on share on social. And if you don't see this share on social, all the way at the bottom, you click on more and then social, right? Here you can choose the channel that you want. So Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook story. You can connect any of these, right? So if you connect your Facebook page, we have a sample one here. I can choose the page that I want to post. So if I want to do a featured listing post, click on done, and then add in my description. I can schedule out the post, or I can just hit publish. So that is the marketing bundle. Underneath here, we have some other resources as well. We do have a FedEx 2-day delivery option. Now you can print out any of your listing brochures at any of our offices. We have some great copy machines, but if you are not near one, you're able to order a 2-day FedEx delivery package here. So this includes 25 listing sheets, 10 layer brochures. We have some closing company brochures that we include, an open house sign-in sheet, and a gold foil folder. You just give us all of the information, the property address. You don't have to upload pictures or anything. We already have your bundle. In fact, this link is sent out with your bundle. You just pay the shipping fee, and then we send it out to you. So that's another option. Again, you can print out at our offices, but this is just if you're not close to one of our offices. And then down here, we also have an option to order a 4-page brochure. Just give us as much info as you can, and we can send out a 4-page brochure. What that is a, let me see if I can find a design that has our 4-page brochure. It's a brochure that you can use, here it is, a brochure that you can use on your listing, especially if you went out and got some more photos. If you have a luxury listing, you went out and got drone photos. It prints out on 11 by 17. It heavily features all of your images. So in that form, we allow you to upload the original sized images. You can also email us the actual link that your photographer sent you, or within that form in the comments, you can put in that link, and then we can download it that way as well. It's a really great piece, which you can print out on 11 by 17 and fold in half. You can also send this out to print as well to Staples. But we don't create this for you automatically. You do need to order it. So be sure to look out for that link in that email. And be sure to look out for this email too. So if you do have a listing and it's been 24 hours and you don't see it, please let us know. Again, this is 24 hours from your listing going live on the MLS. So not when it's incoming soon or when it's offline. We don't generate these when they're on offline, just because the information can always change. So when it goes live on the MLS within 24 hours, you'll receive this email. The next thing I wanted to cover is our social media assistant. So every Monday morning, you'll receive an email and a text message from us with all of the social media for the week. So this includes 7 to 10 social media posts. They cover various topics. They're all real estate related. We include some holidays. We also include suggested captions and hashtags. So not only do we include the image, but we also give you some suggested captions where you can take those and then modify them to fit the local market that you're in. You can add your information on there as well. We give you tons of hashtags to use. You don't have to use them all. These are delivered to you, as ready-to-use images, which again, it's a Google Drive folder. But we also give you Canva templates. So, you can take those Canva templates and then switch over the photos if you want, change the logo, and then you can post also directly from Canva itself. So look out for this. Again, you will receive an email, which is the best technical guru. Oh, thank you. Thanks, John. Yeah, so again, you get this via email and text messages. If you don't want that text message, you can just reply stop to the text message. We'll take you off that list, but you will always get this email. If we don't see this email, let us know. We can make sure that you're on all of our lists. So let me give you a demo of our social media. Let me pull that up. So you'll receive an email that looks just like this. Again, you also get a text message. At the beginning of the month, it's August 1st was yesterday. We also include Facebook covers. So you have some Facebook covers that are for the month, both for our New England offices and our Florida offices. And then here's where you'll see your social media pieces. So first, you'll see the suggested caption. With the email, you can just highlight this and copy and paste on your social media account. And then we have our image, which you can download directly just by clicking on this download button, or you can edit in Canva. And this opens up a Canva template. Now, this Canva template, it's yours. You can do anything you want to this. You can change the logo around. You can change the photos around. It will always be on your account. So for whatever reason, if you accidentally delete something or you want to start fresh, you can always go back to this original email, click on Edit in Canva, and this will open up a new template. Like I said, we cover various subjects. All the way at the bottom, you will also see both Facebook and Instagram stories. So these are formatted to post as stories. And it's very easy to post, especially from Canva. So I can open up this design in Canva. I can switch out a photo if I want. I'm happy with this one. I can click on share. And again, I can click on share on social. I already have my Facebook page attached here. I can go back, grab my suggested caption. We can copy this, paste it in here. I will remove this block here, but you can add your contact information on here as well. And then when I'm done, I can click on Publish Now. Or if you have Canva Premium, you can schedule this out to go out later. So what you can do is Monday morning, schedule out all of the social media for the whole week. For example, if I want this to go out on Sunday, I can specify a time, Sunday at 11 a.m. Click on Done, click Schedule. This will then, it's gonna, I don't have it connected right now, but it's gonna ask me to sign into Facebook. But I can click on Schedule. It's gonna prepare a design. What this does is just creates a new copy of the design. There is a content planner view as well on Canva where you can see everything on a calendar, right? So you can schedule out all of the social media, see it on a calendar. Canva itself also had suggested like holidays. These are very general stuff like International Cat Day. And they also have some suggested designs. These are all Canva designs, but these are very easy to customize. You can just add the LAER logo to any of these if you want, but you can always just use our templates. So they're very easy to use. Again, expect these on Monday morning. If you don't see them, let us know. We can make sure that everything is working, that you're on all of our lists. And that's it. So that's both our LAER listing bundles and our social media that we go out on Monday. That's it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Sergio.
Yes.
All right. Let's go back. We still have lots of stuff that we have to cover. Okay, heading back over to LAER Agent Services page, in case anybody's following along on their computer. I'm going to close out all the windows that I opened in the first half of the class today, just so we have a nice clean screen to work off of. Okay, let's see. All right, we're back. All right, so we spent basically the first 2/3 of our program today covering all the amazing marketing resources available. The few things that I want to point out is that number one, the top 5 things that you're going to go execute on. I want to just as a refresh go through the things that we recommended that you execute on. The buyer presentation, if you don't have one, a listing presentation, all of these, by the way, buyer presentation, listing presentation, and then the buyer, seller, and investor packages. All of that you can do under guides, presentations, brochures. I also recommended if you head down to signs, apparel, and print marketing, I recommended some really cool programs for just listed, just sold postcards, client follow-up campaigns for a 5-year campaign after somebody closes, as well as like a note card writing program. So all of that is under signs, apparel, and print marketing. So we've covered all of the different marketing, branding, and presentations, and I'm super excited. So many of you have stayed on because we have so much to cover still. The next section I want to talk about is agent growth and development. So we take our training programs extremely seriously at LAER. If we're going to deliver content to you, a training class or a system, we're going to make sure that it's the best in the business. So under agent growth and development, first we have classes, meetings, and coaching. Couple things that I want to point out is if you're a LAER agent and you want to make sure you attend our monthly sales meeting, there's a link here. Our sales meeting is on the second Wednesday of every month at 11 o'clock. It's 1 hour. It's by Zoom. You can sign up for that here. Also, you could see all of our upcoming training under the training calendar link. So these are all of the classes that we have coming up. What's cool about this calendar is that you can click on any of these and it will give you a link to sign up for the class. But also, if you scroll down to the bottom of our training calendar, you can actually overlay your calendar or our calendar with your calendar. So if you have a Google Calendar, you click this document. And if you have a iCal calendar, you click this button, and then it'll incorporate our calendar with your calendar so you never miss one of our training classes. We also have a phenomenal coaching program. If you're a LAER agent and you want coaching, like an extra level of accountability, then you can sign up for our coaching program. I'm going to cover that more in a few minutes. And then, of course, our YouTube station. YouTube station has tons, like hundreds and hundreds of classes. So, as I said, when we offer training content, we make sure it's really good. So you can head over. We have about 300 training classes on there. We do clean it out or it's every once in a while. When we clean something out, we don't delete it. We just move it to laeruniversity.com. So the other place you can go look for training content is laeruniversity.com. And we have even more training programs over there. One of the things I would add to your top 5 things to execute on, and in fact, you could execute on this right now, is to subscribe to our YouTube station. That way you're not missing classes, because all the system will do is just send you a little notification when we add new classes, which is like, I don't know, 8 to 10 times a month. You'll get a little notification on your phone about what class we just uploaded, but you'll never miss anything. And I promise you that you'll constantly see classes that you're like, holy cow, I have to go take that class. So that is our YouTube training station. Just go to youtube.com/LAER, LAER training, and subscribe. That way you never miss anything. I do also want to point out we have this new agent resource center. There's some really cool stuff on here if you're a newer agent. We created these little help guides for you. For example, let's say you're a new agent. We have this great guide on home inspections. So this is like a 51-page guide on the mechanics of a house. So I can't even stress how much information is in here. Let's just scroll down. So we wrote this manual to show you exactly what home inspectors will typically look at when they're doing a home inspection. And this 50+ page booklet covers like the different types of heating systems and plumbing systems and exteriors and foundations. So one of the things that real estate agents should be really good at is understanding the mechanics of a house. So this guide gives you everything you need to know about the mechanics of real estate. We also have a real estate agent's guide to lead paint, procuring costs, best practices. We also have for our agents that like to get licensed in different states, little documents that have all the best practices. So we also built out little tutorials on all the real estate forms for each of the states. We're still working on Maine, but like little tutorials on how to fill out the forms. Okay, so that is all under classes, meetings, and coaching. Also, we want to look at business plans and growth systems. So another piece that we take very seriously is business planning and growth systems. When we create something for real estate agents, we insist that it's extremely high quality and that it's going to provide immense value for the agents that use it. One of the pieces we're most proud of is our Algorwin system. This is our business growth system. So we built this about a year and a half ago. And this Algorwin system, so let's talk about what Algorwin means. Algorwin is our system for helping real estate agents get to 30 transactions per year. So 2 years ago, we brought all of our agents that produce $10 million per year in sales or more to an event. And it was a mastermind event where we wanted to break apart and really examine how $10 million agents build a business. What do they do that is different than an agent that is producing $2 million a year in business? And the effect of that was with each agent, we created this massive list of all the things our highest performing agents do regularly. And then we took off the items that some agents do, but not all agents do. So for example, some agents buy Zillow leads, but most of the higher performing agents weren't buying Zillow leads. So we took that off the list. So we wanted to really concentrate on what are the things that all of the high performing agents are doing, because that creates a pattern. What is the pattern or the blueprint to building a successful business in real estate? And so what we determined after that event is that there is an algorithm. An algorithm is that if you put in if you put whatever you put in will create the results. So we know that if you do certain things within your real estate business, you can expect a particular result, which is for us under this system, a minimum of 30 transactions per year. And so we created the Algorwin, meaning if you utilize the algorithm, you're going to win in your business. You're going to get to your 30 plus transactions a year. All right, so I'm just pulling this one up because it's a little bit easier to read. So I'm pulling up a view directly from Canva, just so you guys can see the book a little bit easier. But basically, this is a 100-page Algorwin workbook. And through the workbook, we walk agents step by step through the process of building a business that does at least 30 transactions a year. You can do more, of course. Most of our agents producing $10 million per year in sales volume are doing more than 30 transactions a year. But the goal of this book was to get agents to the 30 transactions a year. So The booklet is about 100 pages long, and as you go through it, it just defines what an algorithm is, and it goes through what our algorithm is for building a successful business. It also goes through the most common traps. Why is it that some agents don't actually complete it? Because we know if you complete this within the algorithm system, if you complete the steps, you will get the results. The problem is some agents don't complete the steps. Do they not complete the steps because they're too hard, that they're super difficult, that we're asking people to jump over a really high hurdle? Absolutely not. They're all very simple. The reason why people don't always complete the steps is these traps. One, the system is so simple. Sometimes it's so simple, anybody can do it, that sometimes we just don't do it because it's too easy. Distractions, perfection. Some agents alter the system, which means you're no longer working off the system. So anyways, the basis of the system is 7 checklists. So we have 7 checklists, one checklist, and none of these checklists are long. The longest checklist is 12 items that you do once a year. There's also a monthly checklist of 9 items, a weekly checklist of 9 items. So you have a yearly checklist that you do once a year, a monthly checklist you do once a month, and a weekly checklist you do once a week. Then once you start utilizing those checklists, you will start getting business, which means you need 4 more checklists. You need the new listing checklist, the new buyer checklist, the seller appointment checklist, and the people appreciation event checklist. I do want to point out that we have a brand new version of the AlgoWin program that we released this summer, only because we wanted to make sure buyer presentations were incorporated heavily into the new buyer checklist in the system. So basically it's a 7 checklists. And then most importantly, we have you track that you're doing the items on the checklist. So the system gives the 7 checklists. Here's, for example, your yearly checklist of 12 items that you do once a year to get your business set up for success. This is the monthly checklist. We have a weekly checklist, buyer, a new seller, a new listing, and then a people appreciation event checklist. So we give you all the checklists. We then give you tracking mechanisms for completing the checklists, so that you make sure that you stay on track. And then the last part of the book is anything that we suggest you do in your business on one of these checklists, we give you all the tools to actually complete them. So everything that we discuss within the checklist is all incorporated in the final section of the book. So this is our AlgoWin business growth system. By the way, any agent can download this. So if you're a LAER agent, we do send you our AlgoWin growth system as part of your welcome box. When you join LAER, we have a really unique welcome gift that we send out to agents who join our brokerage. So one of the items that you get within your welcome box when you join LAER is the nice workbook. As well, you can download the workbook. So if you're an agent watching this and you want this workbook because it is the blueprint to building a successful business, to getting to 30 transactions a year, if you want it, you can go to business plans and growth systems. You're going to click on the AlgoWin system. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you can actually download a PDF version of this 100-page workbook, and you could start working on it. So that's one of our business planning and growth tools. The second one we have, this is totally different than AlgoWin. This is just if you don't want a growth system, you just want a business plan. This is our traditional business planning tool. So this is for agents. This is like all kinds, you can go on Google and find some real estate business plans. We kind of perfected ours a little bit to make it super comprehensive. But if you just want a traditional business plan for real estate agents where you kind of evaluate your last 12 months, where the business came from, where you lost business, and where you're going to get business, this is like a 45-page business planning guide that you can print out. This particular one is really good for teams. So like as we approach the end of the year, it's really cool to do a team meeting with your team, have everybody print out their business plan and fill it out together as a team project. We also did a third type of business plan, and this one is a little bit different than both Alcorn and the traditional business plan. This one's called a simple plan. This one is different in that this version, we encourage you to think about, in order to have a massive change in the amount of business you do, let's just say you're doing $2 million in sales volume and you want to be doing $10 million in sales volume. In order to have a massive shift in the amount of business you do, and you are going to have to become a different person. So in other words, throughout our lives, we're constantly changing who we are. We become different versions of ourselves. And the person who does, say, $10 million in business is a different person than the one that does $2 million in business. So this simple plan really focuses on how do I become the person that I need to become in order to do more business. So you have 3 different programs here, 3 different plans, and all of them, anybody can download these. I do want to point out that if you sign up for our LAER coaching program, we've really moved our coaching program to the Alcorn system. So if you sign up for our coaching program, we work off of this workbook, but your coach has a different manual. Your coach has a very specific manual because the coach's job is to help you identify why it is you're not accomplishing your mission or goal. So they will focus on helping you identify what needs to change in order to accomplish the mission. So those are some of our great business planning tools. Okay, I'm going to spend a few minutes now, only because we're running short on time here. Let me just go back for one moment, make sure there's nothing else we need to cover. I'm back at our LAER program and services guide. We had only started on the marketing and branding section of the site of this guide, but we of it. You got to hear from Sergio. If you're a LAER agent, I do want to point out we have a great program where we do social media marketing on all your new listings for the first 7 days of your listings. So we do it automatically. You get all the leads that come through on that. And then you got to hear from Sergio about our social media assistant. We also have some cool magazines. If you're a LAER agent, we do drop these off at offices so you can put them into your listing and buyer presentations. But I want to spend a few minutes on technology because there's some important stuff we want to cover and I don't want to miss it. So we're on the second section of the book, which is technology. One of the things agents ask when they join a brokerage is, are there any technology costs, like a tech fee? At LAER, the answer is maybe. We have an optional $39 per month tech fee. You don't have to sign up for our tech fee. First of all, there's lots of technology you get for free as part of being a LAER agent. So you get .loop or app files, depending what market you work in, showing time, Cloud CMA. We have an upgraded version of that, Boost by HomeSpotter, and then G Suite, like the full G Suite if you want that for your business. So those are the free pieces. We also have a $39 per month tech bundle with 3 additional products that you get as a agent at LAER. Each of these, if you were to go sign up for them, is $39 individually. Ours is $39 as a bundle. You get all 3 of them. This is Isaac. This is the CRM system. It's set it and forget it. So if you don't have a CRM system, Isaac is super easy to use. It creates a set it and forget it marketing system. It sends out a newsletter, an e-newsletter to your clients on a monthly basis. Super easy to use. You also get a Boston Logic website. Our company website is based off of Boston Logic. Maria said, I thought they canceled that. All these are the 3 products. We use all 3 of these. So none of these have been canceled. So Boston Logic is an agent website, and that comes as part of your $39 per month bundle. And you can customize it. We do most of the customization up front for you. And so we deliver to you a beautiful website. I always say anyways, don't spend a ton of time focusing on a website because consumers aren't. It's actually more important that you have a Google business page than it is to have a website. But we do make sure that you have a beautiful website as part of the $39 per month tech bundle. The third part is Real Scout, which is a property search portal. We think this is a Zillow buster. We love it because it's a better search platform than Zillow. Now, I do want to caution, when we added a ton of Maine agents over the last 60 days, the MLS in Maine does not quite interact the right way with Real Scout. So we're in the process of getting that fixed so that our Maine agents can enjoy all the cool things that the Real Scout platform does. So we're about 30 days out from getting that piece of it fixed. But I wanted to ask Ashley to go through just a quick tutorial of the top 10 things your Real Scout app can do to help you keep your clients searching for real estate through you instead of going to outside portals where you potentially lose them. So with that, I want to introduce Ashley.
Thank you, Stacey.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with this little quick tidbit. And come on, let me present, please. Present. So this is just a little quick guide that I came up with for tips on how to get started with Real Scout, how to set up a client, different search features that you can use when you do set up your search criteria. And the one thing that I really like about Real Scout is that it allows you to search in ways that your standard MLS does not. So for example, if you have somebody who wanted to be in a particular school district, or within a particular school district, they wanted their child to go to a particular elementary school, middle school, or high school, there are ways that you can search for that in Real Scout. So the first thing that you want to do once you get your Real Scout credentials is you want to go ahead and download that app. So depending upon if you have an Android or an iOS, there are going to be different versions of the logo a little bit. And also there is a different version for consumers or clients versus the agent. So if you are an agent, you want to make sure that you're downloading the Real Scout agent dashboard, and it's going to have the pro banner across the top. And you're going to have the black background with the white house. Your consumer or client version is just going to say Real Scout Home Search. It's going to be a white background with a black house. So if you're not sure if you're downloading the correct one and you are a LAER agent, just email Happy Agent and I can make sure that you do have the agent one versus the consumer client one. And again, one of the key points to know which one you are downloading is the black background with the white house is for agents, the white background with the black house is for consumers. So that's always a way to tell. And these might vary slightly depending, again, Android or iOS. And to log in, you would use the same username and password that you use on your desktop. The next thing that I have in here as a quick tip is there is a unique URL for each agent, and you can go ahead and use this link under Market My Real Scout platform. You can use it in your emails. You can use it in your social media posts, your Instagram posts. If you do TikTok videos, if you do YouTubes, you can use this link to market your Real Scout platform. You can have, you know, somebody in your neighborhood click on it and just get a quick home value alert or a home value alert for what their home is or something like that. But you can use this link to navigate your Real Scout and you will capture that lead once they enter their information. So there's different ways you can leverage your unique individual Real Scout platform. You can also verify your MLS. So for me, in my Real Scout, I have my New Hampshire license and my Massachusetts licensed. So this is why when you create a list and alert and you have more than one license associated with your Real Scout account, you see this cross MLS feed right here. It's because it's searching 2 MLSs, not just one. So if you had a client who wanted to be in just New Hampshire, you would click on this drop-down menu where it says data feed. And then it will allow you to select which one you want. In Massachusetts, residential, commercial, leases, everything like that is all categorized into one. However, New Hampshire breaks it out into residential, commercial lease, commercial sale. So depending upon what your client was looking for in New Hampshire, you would just have to select that proper classification of property before you could set up the search criteria for them. The next thing would be the search criteria. So you would just click add a client or alert. And there are 2 different alerts. So you have your home value alert and then you have a market activity alert. And I will get to the market activity alert. I think it's step 7 and 8 or steps 8 and 9 in here. And I will go over how I use that. So you would just enter your client's emails, first and last name. Phone number is optional. The source of the contact is optional if you want. Real Scout also did add tags. And then now what they did too is on the bottom right below the tags is that they have little buttons that you can click if it's a buyer and a seller, if it's a seller, if it's a buyer. So you can go ahead and customize that a little bit more. So Real Scout has done some updating. So I do need to update this. And then you would just go through the criteria fields, enter your criteria as you would in MLS. And then once you have all of the criteria set, what you would do is in the top right corner, you would click Save to Client. You would select the client that you wanted to save it to. You could rename the search. So if they were looking in Maine and New Hampshire, you could do New Hampshire home searches. Alert schedule, so it allows for daily ASAP, different alert times that you can select. I always do ASAP, so anytime anything comes on, I get an email because you can select right down here, send copy to myself. So any email your client gets for a new match based upon their criteria, you get that same email as well. So just like in MLS, when you get an email of a house that your client was matched to, Real Scout does the same thing. So I always have send copy to myself. And then there is a way that you can select, and I think it's called handpicked. So what you would do is you would have to take the time and go through the houses that match your client's search. And then you would manually have to send those to your clients. They wouldn't automatically be sent if you did the hand-picked alert schedule. So there are different ones that you can do. Again, there are different ways that you can do a search criteria just besides towns, zip codes, and counties. So if you knew where your client worked, right, you could put an outline with their work in the center. You could draw a polygon of a specific area. You could draw a rectangle, or you could do a radius. So if you had somebody in the medical field who worked at a hospital and they do on call, right, they have to be within a certain amount of minutes or a certain amount of miles from the hospital. This would be one of the ways that you could search for that specific client to ensure that you were in the correct area for them when they find the house. Again, the school district searching. You can also search by zip code, county. If you have somebody who wants to be in a specific condo association or specific development or subdivision, you can search by those names as well. The next quick thing is on the left-hand side of your screen, you have your navigation panel or your quick buttons. And in here, this is how you can go ahead and update a client, delete a client. So to update a client search, you would click on the contacts. You would go ahead and find the contact name. You would click on them. You would click on their name. You would click the edit button. So if this client had a listing alert, a market activity alert, and a home value alert, you would click on the alert that you wanted to change. You would click the edit button, edit filters, and then once you have that edit filter button, it's going to bring you back to the main search criteria page that you initially set up for this client. And you can go ahead and update whatever criteria you needed to update, whether it be the price, the towns, the number of bedrooms, the number of square feet, any criteria, you would go in and update. And then you would always want to click the save button once you're done, because once you update something, excuse me, you're always going to want to make sure you save it, because if you don't click save, it's not going to save your changes. It's still going to be the old search. And then once you click the save button, it's going to ask you which client do you want to, or if you want to send those updates to that specific client, and you can type an email and send it, or you can decline to send. So you do have that option to send it or to not send it to your client at that time. The next thing is an auto nurture feature, which Real Scout came out with sometime last year, I think. And what I like about this is that it's a great way to keep in touch with clients, especially in a market where we've had low inventory or a shortage of inventory, but you have your clients set up on a search criteria campaign. Real Scout will take that data, and if Real Scout finds out in their algorithm, finds out that there's not enough data, the auto nurture feature, once it's enabled, it will create an email campaign with relevant listings and relevant real estate market updates for that client, and it'll automatically send them an email. So you're always being top of mind for your clients. I have this enabled for all of my clients. So there is a way that you can disable it, or you can have it set that you enable it for all your clients. I just have it set for all of my clients that I put into Real Scout, no matter if they're commercial, if they're a residential lease. I just have them set up on this auto nurture feature. So I'm always top of mind for my clients. The next one is what I call a monthly market activity report. And this is used for buyers, but I also use it for sellers. So I call this a little bit of a heat index map as well. And the way you would create this is you would go over to the alerts on the left-hand side. You would do market activity alert. You would enter the town, and if it's a town, so let's say Chelmsford, and you had a client who wanted to be in a specific part of Chelmsford, you could hone in on the map and you could draw which part of that specific city or town you wanted to do the market activity alert for. You could do a minimum and maximum price. And then once you have that filled out, it's going to give you a report for how many active buyers there were and how many buyer interactions there were over the past 30 days. You can go as far back, I think, as 365 days. So you can do 30, 60, 90, 180 days. And it'll give you a report. It'll tell you where the relative popularity was. So right here, you have your heat index map features. And then it also breaks it down into how many buyers there were on a specific day, what your top viewed listings are, recently listed and recently sold. So I use this for buyers as a strategy. If the home that we're writing an offer on is a top viewed listing, I use this report to maybe do a shorter closing if the lender can handle a shorter closing, or we might do a home inspection cap. But then on the flip side, when I have a listing appointment, I use this to help justify the price that I'm proposing to my potential sellers, right? So this is showing your sellers, because you have a CMA as well, but this is also showing your sellers real data in real time within the past 30 days. What's going on in their neighborhood? What's the top viewed listings? Where are those buyers being populated, right? So this can also help you with your listing appointments as well, and getting that property priced appropriately for the market area that it is in. And then the last thing is, why is Real Scout better than Zillow? As Stacey mentioned, it's an above average search experience. You can search by a school district or by a specific condo association. You get new property alerts. It's more up to date than Zillow is. You get more consumer interaction with Real Scout. So instead of having your clients just like and dislike a property, they can actually like certain features, dislike certain features, and you get all of that stuff in your Real Scout dashboard when you sign into it as an agent. It also does have a mobile app, and then it also integrates with lead platforms. So I think it can integrate with realtor.com, Zillow leads, and I forget what other lead systems it can integrate with. And then just a little quick thing that Stacey already gone over as to Zillow and the truth about Zillow and why you should never share Zillow. And it's just because it's not accurate, and Zillow's in the market of selling your information. So if you are a LAER agent and you do have the tech bundle, or you are thinking of getting the tech bundle, there is a link that you can sign up for a 30-minute briefing, and that is laerrealty.com/briefings. And I will go ahead and put that in the chat for everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the screen back over to Stacey. And that is all I have for my Real Scout quick tips.
All right, awesome. Hopefully I can finish out the webinar. Zoom's acting super bizarre. So I will do my best to finish out our program today. Let's see, I'm going to go back to our LAER program and services guide. Thank you, Ashley, for giving us an overview of everything in the Real Scout platform. I look forward to getting that working for Maine as well, because it is a pretty awesome platform for your business. Okay. So that kind of wraps up all the technology stuff. The third section of our LAER program and services guide really covers the coaching and career development stuff, which I've already given you an overview of. So let me just put this in presentation mode so it's easier for you guys to, easier for you guys to see. Okay. So we've covered everything in here. All of this is at LAER Agent Services, which is where we spent all day today. So you can go download the Algorwin book if you're interested in our workbook to get you to 30 transactions a year. These are some of the classes on our LAER University. We already went through this, like our page on transaction blueprints that covers like the manuals, the little manuals we've created. One of the things we are proud of is, in addition to all the Zoom training and video training we do, sometimes it's really nice just to get out and be with each other. So if you're a LAER agent, if you're an agent, we open up all of our training to all agents anyways, but we encourage you to get out to, when we do our live events, we bring in speakers and trainers. We do annual awards programs for all of our marketplaces, as well as holiday parties, mastermind events, luncheons. I encourage you guys to get out and be with other agents because you learn a lot. And oftentimes you pick up some business as well. As I mentioned, we also have a phenomenal coaching program. You can learn more at laerrealty.com/coaching. In the summer of 2024, we switched over our entire coaching program to the Algorwin program so that your coach is now trained to help facilitate you through the Algorwin workbook and help you identify what are the things that are holding you back from the results you wish for in your business. The final section of our LAER program guide is the agent support services. One of the things that makes us a little bit different at LAER is our Happy Agent system. And the Happy Agent system is basically our customer service portal. One of the things we tell our LAER agents is anytime you need support on anything, a bookkeeping question, a training question, you got a deal issue you need assistance with, you want marketing support, you need something, whatever it is you need, we're here to help you with it. But the fastest way to get help is to email happyagent@laerrealty.com. The reason for that is when you email happyagent@laerrealty.com, that goes into a customer support portal where you're the customer. So even though you're sending an email in, it's not arriving to us as an email. It's arriving to us inside this portal where anytime those requests come in, they get assigned to the staff member who is best suited to answer your question quickly and knowledgeably. So by emailing Happy Agent anytime you need support, we can ensure that you get the assistance that you need. So most important, I always tell agents, 10 years ago, when you joined our brokerage, we used to give you a list of, here's our 50 staff members. We don't do that anymore. You don't have to know who to reach out to if you have a deal problem or who to reach out to if you have a marketing question. All you need to know is happyagent@laerrealty.com, and then we'll assign it to the staff member who's best suited to help you. And then that staff member will reach out and make sure you're taken care of. So for our staff, it's just so much better than email. Receiving like a personal email because it's too easy for your email to get lost. We do also offer throughout the next few pages, it just talks about some of the technology that we offer for collecting escrow checks and commission checks. We do offer earnest and deposit link. Also, we pay out to co-brokes and title companies and attorneys and our agents through e-check because it's just super easy for us to email checks to you. All of this is designed to make it super easy for you to do business without having to come to an office. That being said, we have 40 plus offices. You're welcome to come to an office. We want you to come to the office. We just don't want to make it inconvenient for you. Like, we want to make your job as simple as possible. And that's why we as a company embrace a lot of technology to assist. I mentioned at the beginning of today's program to download our LAER program and services guide. One of the pages you'll see in the guide is this lead generation page. First of all, it's important to note that a lead generation company, there are tons of lead generation companies. There's two kinds. Referral fee-based lead platforms. Those are the companies that say, hey, I'll give you leads, but when you close one, you pay me a referral fee. The other kind is subscription-based lead platforms. Those are companies that say, pay me monthly and we'll send you leads. While these can complement your business, it's almost impossible to build a long-term consistent business just off of lead sources. You have to begin to build a database. However, sometimes agents need these in the beginning of a career just to help start building the database. I'm not a fan of subscription-based lead platforms, but I love referral fee-based lead platforms. They are expensive. Now most of them charge 35 to 40%, but they're a great way to start generating leads. All of these are live links. So you can go through these and click on each one and sign up to be a referral agent with each of these companies. I do want to warn you that they have hurdles that you have to jump through because they're trying to determine if you're the type of agent that is going to jump hurdles to talk to customers and reach out to customers, and that you're going to try multiple times to get in front of a customer. So don't stop at stop signs when you're signing up for these lead programs. Click on each one, go through the process. If they say they have a waiting list, that doesn't mean stop. That means give all the information anyways to get added to the waiting list. So all the different referral fee lead platforms are on there. We also have a phenomenal transaction coordinating team on staff. So if you're the type of agent that hates paperwork, give it to a transaction coordinator. As well, if you're an agent that is approaching those 30 transactions a year, you've maybe been working the Alcorn program for a while, and you're approaching the 30 transactions, you gotta do something. You either will need a part-time assistant or just hire somebody that gets introduced into your transaction as an assistant to help you along the way. So you don't have to handle all the paperwork and all the communication. One thing I like to point out is that all the good things at our company, and our company is literally changing every single month. We have different or new tools. So we kind of pay attention to what our agents need and want. And the way we do that is through LAER committees. So if you're interested in joining a LAER committee to have a voice into the tools, training, technology, etc. At LAER, then I encourage you to go to our link, laerrealty.com/committees. Unfortunately, today, we didn't get to hear from Craig. Craig Foley is our Chief Sustainability Officer. He's very well known in the industry. He speaks at all the different National Association of Realtor conventions on sustainability, and he's our personal Chief Sustainability Officer. He happens to be in Minnesota right now presenting, I think presenting or in meetings for sustainability at the National Association's level. But what's important to note is we have tons of resources. If you're an agent that is interested in sustainability, like maybe solar panels, or maybe you're green designated, we have some amazing tools. You'll see them when you're shopping around through our marketing portal. You'll see we have a green listing presentation and a green buyer presentation, etc. We are proud to be realtors at our company. So I always think it's important to talk about the importance of being a realtor versus not being a realtor, especially the realtor organization is somewhat embattled over the past year or so. Here's what I believe. I've been in the industry for 25 years as a realtor, and I believe that the reason we have an industry is because of the realtor organization. Think of all the companies that have gone by the wayside over the last 25 years. Companies that were one time massive. You saw travel agents on every corner. You'd go to New York City and there were yellow cabs everywhere. There's so many companies that are going by the wayside, or industries, I should say, going by the wayside, but not the realtor organization, not realtors. We still have a very viable business and industry. In my opinion, that has a lot to do with the realtor organization. They have lobbying arms that protect our industry as agents, but also they have lobbying arms that protect the consumer to make sure that home ownership is within reach for everyone. So as you think about, even though, sure, they've had some stuff happen over the last year, at the end of the day, I don't think we'd be here without the realtor organization. It's our job as a real estate agent to get our money's worth out of it. So we spend, let's say, around $600 a year to be realtors. There's so much stuff that you can do to recoup that $600 by digging into the realtor resources. For example, didn't get any time to cover it today, but the realtor property resource section. Realtor property resources, RPR, is an amazing tool for residential and commercial real estate agents. It does valuations. It does all kinds of cool reports. You can create mailing labels. That program alone, in my opinion, is worth $600 a year. Getting your ABR designation for free is worth $600 in my opinion. So it's your job as a real estate agent to go out and recoup the $600 through value. If you want to come back in the future for future boot camps, this is always the first Friday of every month. We've been doing it for 5 or 6 years. We never miss a month. Occasionally, it'll get moved to the following week if there's a holiday that happens to fall on that Friday. But for the most part, you can expect to see us here on the first Friday of every month. We'd love to have you come back. You can go to laerrealty.com/bootcamp to sign up for future ones. As well, you can watch the recording of today's program at youtube.com/LAER Okay, couple things as we wrap up. First, let's go over some of the things you're going to execute on if you don't already have these in your business, because it's so important. I know you guys are tired. It's been a long, almost 3 hours, but I don't want you to leave and do nothing. I want you to embrace all this time that you spent becoming a better real estate agent today. So you got to go execute on some stuff. You got to create the buyer presentation. Again, it's not a 7-hour ordeal to create that because we created it for you. It's a 1-hour ordeal of going through and customizing it and making it your own. So buyer presentation, you got to update your listing presentation if you haven't updated it in a while, because remember, these are your checklists. So you got to go in and add to your listing presentation or create a new one, but you got to talk about why it's important to either offer or potentially pay compensation to buyer agents. You're going to create buyer packages, seller packages, or investor packages. You're going to sign up for MLS mailings, so you have set it and forget it systems in place for just listed, just sold postcards. You're maybe going to sign up for TPMCO, the personal marketing company, so that you have 5-year mailing campaign after you close on a property so your people don't forget you. So make sure you're executing on some of these things, and there's hundreds of others you may have come up with throughout our entire presentation today. I do want to say, I noticed that a lot of you are with other brokerages. If you love some of the stuff you see today, we'd love to talk to you about joining LAER. Even if we don't have an office in your marketplace, we are fast expanding into many states. We're just at the very beginning of our growth. So we're interested in having an office near you. So we're interested in talking. If you are interested in having a conversation with me, you can email happyagent@laerrealty.com and just say I have an interest in learning more about LAER. That'll get assigned to me and we can set up a call together. And with that, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined me. This was a really long program. I appreciate that you are so committed to your business that you spent an entire Friday morning working on your business with me. And I want to wish you a wonderful second half to your summer. Thanks, everyone.